anewdayfellowship.org. So thank you for joining us this evening. We know that you are welcome in this place. Not only that, but we have a great young lady that's sitting on my right to your left if you're looking at the screen. Not only that, but we're just going to get into the gist of the conversation. Not only that, we're just going to have fun because it took a long time for this young lady to get where she is. Not only that, but to get to this place, because we started pretty close, a little over a year ago, trying to get her this direction. But because of the stringent of her time and things that she was doing, and everybody wants her on their side, and finally, she came. So want to thank you, appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Dell Ingram-Walker. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate you coming and joining us this afternoon. We know it took a lot for you to get here, but I'm glad that you finally came this direction, and praise God that she is here, and she's here in the flesh, guys. This is not a hologram. She's here, actually here. Yeah. Woo! We can touch, but it's all good. And the reason I wanted to have Dale in here because she has inspired a lot of people in this area. Not only that, but I heard her speak at a banquet, and the testimony that she has is phenomenal, guys. I mean, you got to listen to what she has. And also, if you're interested in having her come and speak at your place or at a banquet, just get in contact with her, and I guarantee you that she may work it out. So appreciate it. But let's give a warm welcome to Dell Ingram-Walker.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy to be here. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
I know it took me a long time, but I'm here now.
Hey, you see the crowd back there whispering and cheering and everything else. So Dale, let's get into the conversation.
Okay.
You have done such phenomenal things in such a short period of time.
I wouldn't call it a short period.
Yeah, I think so. But the idea is you not, some people say you have arrived, but no, you just have arrived in certain areas of your life.
I don't think I've ever arrived at anything.
Well, you have. You just don't know that. But and no, there. But you're on a lot of boards. I mean, you about 50 boards?
No.
Okay, 49 guys.
No.
But the idea is she's on a lot of boards, and because people like winners, people like people that's going somewhere and doing something, and she has that knack about her that once you see her or you get to talk to her, then you find out that she's a lot of excitement. And not only that, but she has a future that is very bright and sharp. So give us a synopsis where you came from and how you getting where you're going and all the little small stuff.
I've got to start off saying that the views and opinions that I expressed during this are my own and not my employer. So I wanted to make sure I got that out of the way.
All right.
So you wanted to talk about how I started, where I came from?
Yeah.
So I am originally from Alabama, and I came here to this area mainly via the military. My husband was active military at the time. This was back in 1998, I believe. So it was active at Fort Hood, Fort Cavazos as it's known right now. And so that's how I originally got out of here. I started an internship. I am an administrator, hospital administrator, president actually. And I started an internship with my company, with my organization right now. And after that internship, I started work with them, and that was over 25 years ago. So when you say I'm young, I've spent some time in it. And so it was 25 years as of June. But really grew up there, really cut my teeth, learned a lot. It's been an incredible experience. I'm so proud of the work that we've done thus far. We have a lot to go. When I said I don't think I've arrived, I'm always striving. I want to always strive to be better. And so we want to be better than the day before and just better at every level. So that takes work, and it's continuous work. It takes continuous learning to do it, but that's something that I love.
Wow. Now, I know that in the meantime and things that you're doing, thank you, Leela Butler, for watching. Thank you, Bobby Kettles, for watching. There is a thing called a gym. And I know that you lift weights.
J-I-M or J-Y-M?
G-Y-M. N-A-S-I-U-M.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And first when I heard about you, they said that you lift weights.
I do.
And Does that
How
keep
did I
you
get into
calm,
it?
relaxed?
Yes,
Or?
so I lift weights mainly to release stress, anxiety, all of those things. It is a good thing for your mental health, and not only mental health, but physical health too. I started lifting after I'd gone through a lot of traumatic events in my life. It started back when I was getting ready to start grad school. This was around 2011. And my sister died unexpectedly the day before my birthday. And at that time, I talked with my mom and told her, you know, I don't think I should continue school right now. I'll probably stop and, you know, just pick it up later, because I wasn't expecting it. Me and my sister were close. I didn't think it was something that I could do. And my mom has always been a big proponent of education. In fact, she was enrolled in college. She had 3 degrees already, so it's not like she needed another one. But she was enrolled in college at least until the semester before she passed away. And so my sister passed away 2011. My mom encouraged me to keep going, and so I did. That next year, though, my mom passed away.
Wow.
And so, and it was obviously not anything that I expected, but it was my son, my oldest son now, is a graduate of the University of Alabama, which is where I graduated from, and my mom graduated from too. Roll Tide, I've got to say it.
Roll Tide.
But my son had just graduated from Harker Heights High. He was excited to go to Tuscaloosa. He would be close to Grandma, because Grandma was in Tuscaloosa. And so he got over there in August. We moved him in, and by November, she had passed away. So that was a year after my sister. The next year after that, my father, my brother-in-law, and my grandmother died, all within a month of each other. And so I was at a point where, you know, how much more can I take? How much more can I bear? And so actually, right after my mom passed, we found out, before she had gotten sick. She had lost weight. She had been to every doctor, every specialty, really, that she could go to, with the exception of maybe psychiatry. But they never could figure out what was wrong with her until after she passed away. And so she passed away from a genetic heart condition. And so after I found that out, that really inspired me to, you know, make sure that I take great care of myself. Now, I had already been doing that because I'm in healthcare and we want to practice what we preach there. But just seeing what happened with her, what happened with my sister, and the rest of my family's health just became, if it wasn't already there, it became at the very top of my priorities. So that's how I made my way to the gym. I know that I'm not good just going by myself, so I did get a trainer, someone to hold me accountable. And so actually I started training with her back in 2015. It took me a while to get to her because after all of that happened, my dad, my brother-in-law, my grandmother, that was back in 2013. I'd been working on a lot of projects at work, you know, trying to deal with all the grief. So it took me a while to get to my trainer. So I actually didn't start working with her until 2015, but have been working with her ever since. And to this day, I work out with her.
Wow. I have a personal trainer. It's called an earbud. I stick it in and put the mic.
Well, but you know what? There are so many resources out there. You don't necessarily need a trainer to get fit. All you need are motivation, and there are plenty of resources that you can look up online. You don't need a gym to work out. You can work out at home. You can use body weight. There's really no excuses if you want to do it.
Right. Well, I have to go to the gym myself because there's a lot of work need to be done to my home. I know my wife probably watching, and so I have to leave the place so I can focus on what I plan on doing.
Got it.
Right.
Well, being at the gym does help you focus. I will say that I did a competition, and it is the most clear or most focused I think I've ever been in my life. So the gym absolutely can do that for you. Exercise is just good. I mean, there's so many benefits to exercise. I could really talk all day about exercise.
Well,
I won't, but
you got about 20 more hours.
No,
You know.
no. people would log off. But I would highly recommend it for anyone. It will only make you better. It will not make you worse.
So do you eat certain foods or just moderation or what?
Yeah. So I try to eat as healthy as I can. You have to remember your body is going to be a reflection of what you eat. So what you eat most of the time is what your body is going to look like. And so you have to decide what that is for you. I really probably use, and the thing that you have to think about it too is, we can do things in moderation. So I don't want to tell anybody that, I eat healthy all the time. I don't. Most of the time, if you come to my house, I have cupcakes. I love cupcakes, and I have them at home. But if I'm eating well most of the time, then it's okay when I eat that cupcake, that one cupcake or two cupcakes, because I'm eating right most of the time. And so I try to eat a diet with, mainly fruits, vegetables, and meats. I try to stay away from processed foods as much as I can. I don't do any, I don't drink anything other than water, other than fresh squeezed orange juice. And I started that back when I started working with my trainer. And I told her I wanted, how can I get the biggest impact the quickest I can? And of course she said, cut out sugar. And, me being from the South, I used to drink sweet tea, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And so she said, an easy way for you would be to cut out your sweet tea. And I was like, what? I can't do that. But actually that day, I went cold turkey. That was April 9, 2015. And since then, I've only drank water. I just started drinking fresh squeezed orange juice maybe last year. And I only do that because I eat oranges a lot anyway, so I'm getting the same thing. So, but only water, because I'd rather eat my calories than drink them.
Okay.
So, but yeah, try to eat as healthy as you can. If you don't, there are going to be sometimes you fall off the wagon. Just pick back up. Next meal, pick back up. But just do everything in moderation. But like I said, your body is going to reflect what you do most of the time.
Yeah. Well, I have a six-pack, everybody. Y'all just don't know it, but you gotta move some things out just to see that six-pack. But I say I got it though.
10-pack. I'm kidding.
Jesse, make sure you show more of her than me. Okay, now let's plan.
No, you're
but
good.
It's all good. See, we're here just to have fun and see who
It's
Dell
just a
is.
conversation.
Yes,
Yeah.
because like saying, people know Dell as from her job,
Right.
or from her directory, but we want to know who Dell is. Who is Dell when she go home, and Dell when she's swimming, and Dell when she's in Alabama. So that's who we're trying to find out who the real Dell is.
And I'm just like everybody else. I just want to relax. Have a good evening.
Well, guys, when I first met her, she was she had her head all straight and serious-minded. Like, who's that serious young lady over there? She's dead serious.
Well, you have to be at times. There's a time and place for everything. I didn't know you.
And I'm like, and I like to clown. I like to have fun. So,
Right.
But I was on my best behavior because it was early in the morning. So, I was half asleep at the desk. I just didn't know it. But it's all good. So, give us some more about how'd you meet your husband?
Actually, we met through his first cousin was actually, I think I was over at her house, and he had come over there.
Was this in Alabama? Or?
This is in Alabama.
Okay.
He had just got accepted into flight school, and he was coming over to tell his aunt. And so actually, I opened the door. I didn't know him at the time, so I was like, who are you? He's like, who are you? So that was our very first thing that we said to each other. So in the beginning, we didn't like each other, but we connected maybe the next day and have been together since then.
Wow, how many years?
Gosh, 26.
That's
married,
awesome.
And probably 28, 29 together.
That's
like
great.
That.
That's awesome. And he's a pilot.
He is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, just having a pilot and then your profession
Right.
and you got two sons that had both graduated?
Yeah, both graduated from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide.
Oh, okay, here she goes. Now she's keep rubbing it in. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Right.
And other than that, we know that like I said, a lot of tragic that happened in your life, and everyone was just like they was leaving you, but it was getting you strengthening in what you was doing.
Right. It actually really it made me think a lot about my mom, and especially my mom was someone that I spoke with every day, and so even if we didn't have much to say, we would just call to check in with each other, just making sure you're okay, you're alive, you're good, all of that type stuff. So when she passed away, of course, I didn't have that, and I didn't have anyone to bounce things off. I didn't have my sister And so I really had to rely on my good friends here and my work family to really get through, everything that I was going through. I kind of forgot the question that you just asked me. What was the original question?
No, you're hitting on it. You're hitting on it.
No, but ask me that again, because I was going somewhere, but I think I forgot.
Keep going. You're doing well.
Yeah, but after I, had gone through all of that, you asked me how I met my husband. I believe that was the question. And so I think.
Yeah, she moved there and kept going.
Yeah.
After what, 29 together,
right.
But 25 married.
Yes,
something
26.
Like 26, okay.
26 married and 28, 29 together.
Okay.
I'm literally forgetting.
And he got transferred this direction to Fort Cavazos.
Yeah,
used to be
it was
Fort Hood back in the day.
Then.
Right.
Yeah, definitely Fort Cavazos. I believe you asked me again how I met my husband. So when we've been together ever since then. He's been, a great support.
Right.
Certainly being a military spouse is not easy. So I, definitely, hands down to all of my military spouses out there. Definitely know what you go through. It is a lot on top of, everything that we have to do every day. So it's just been a really, I will say when I was going through all of that, it was a really tough time. But really thinking back about what my mom taught me, and like I told you before, she was very, very big on education. And so every time I think I can't do something or I think I want to stop something, I always think of her. Because like I said, she went to school, college, she was in college, all the way up until a semester before she passed away. So she was enrolled spring semester and she passed away that fall.
Wow.
And so she really loved education. She really loved being out with the students. She loved being a mentor, all of those type things. And so I look back on some of the work that she's done, and you know how you never want to see your mom in yourself? Like, I don't look like her, I don't act like her. But when I think about it, I really, really do. And so she was huge on education. I preach the same thing to my kids. I preach the same thing to you. Definitely education truly is key. But not just education, continuous learning. So once you get your degree, there's always something to learn. And the one thing that you have to know is that you can learn something from everyone. Doesn't take, a doctor or, a lawyer. You can learn something from everyone. So always making sure that you are picking up those nuggets from wherever you can get them.
I was going to mention it about forever learning. It's a constantly, continuation on that because when you feel like you have arrived and you have not, that's in general, that means that you're no longer teachable. Right,
exactly.
So you have to be teachable in everything.
My trainer always says, be coachable.
Wow.
Be coachable. Yeah.
So how often do you, so I'm jumping here and jumping there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember where we were.
It's all good, folks. No, it's all good, folks. It's all good.
Right.
So dealing with training, how focused are you as you train? Do you have like earbuds on and music, or it's just more the person you listen to and they tell you how many reps and all this stuff?
She's telling me what to do, how many reps, and we're going to sit there. We're going to be there until I get them done. I remember when I first started, I used to whine and complain. And, I used to think, well, if I complain enough, she'll let me go. No, she's like, I got time. So I stopped complaining, and you just go and you get it done. And she has a great workout for me every time. I don't think that I've ever really, truly done the same workout ever, which is amazing. But, there are some key exercises that you want to make sure you do. But she is very good with switching it up and variations and all of that. And so, she's giving me instructions, and I'm following the instructions. And if you do it, you get great results. Now, you've got to do the other work, too, because exercise alone won't get you there. You have to think about what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. Again, like I said, your body is going to reflect what you do most of the time. And so if most of the time you're eating healthy and you're working out, you'll look like that. But if you don't, you'll look like that too. So you just have to think about what you want your goals to be. And I would say that the hardest part is just starting. It really is. But once you get started, just keep going. And if you fall off the wagon, that's okay. Pick back up and keep going.
So is your trainer a person that's in your face, or just the kind of like?
She's excellent.
Okay. Well, y'all read through that, didn't y'all? Real fast.
Yeah, she's excellent. And she may not know this, but I credit her with a lot of where I am today, because I could not have gotten there without, her encouragement, her making me focus, her pushing me. Like I said, exercise made my mind clear. And so when you have that clear focus, you're able to function at the highest levels in other things. So projects I had at work went really easy. I had great organization, especially when you're doing competitions. That makes you very disciplined, because you have to eat at certain times. You have to look at your portions, all of that. And so my day was very planned out. And so I really try to be as organized as I can. So she has done beyond just working out in the gym. She has made such an impact on my life. I don't think I would be here or where I am without her help.
Well, tomorrow morning, a new dawn to me. I'm put that Rocky song on, Eye of the Tiger, and I'm gonna change up. Dun, 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 dun.
But just start small, and you don't have to. Like I said, you don't need a trainer. You don't have to, say I'm gonna go out and run a marathon tomorrow. I'm gonna do this. Just start somewhere, and even start slow. Start with 10 minutes and build up, whatever it is. Like I said, the hardest part is just starting. Just putting in your mind that this is what I want to do, this is what I want to get to, or where I want to get to.
That's awesome. Well, I got to do at least an hour on the treadmill. I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have
You're better than me. I don't like cardio.
Well, I have to
But you have
focus.
to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. And I will say, if you do 150 minutes a week, it will do your heart good.
That's awesome. My heart's probably saying, go for it, Robert. But I'm so excited that, you got to come and hang out with us, for such a short time as this. But let's talk about your weight. I mean, everything, because I know you're.
My weight?
Well, not as your kg, not that, but how you focused, because usually when I'm at the gym, I do focus, and sometimes people want to come talk to me. I'm like, I don't have time for you right now. I'm trying to stay focused, because if I stop, then I'm going home. so I have to learn to.
Well, I think you have to go in with a plan, and you have to know what you're going to do. So that's number one. I mean, if you're going in and just walking around and looking at the machines and taking selfies and let me go do this, you really have to be focused, and you really have to have a plan. Really, when people see that you are intentional with that plan, a lot of times they won't bother you. And a lot of times at the gym where I am, everybody's doing their own thing, so they're not paying attention to me anyway. So just go in with a plan of what you're going to do, and just work. If people see that you're working out, then they probably won't bother you.
Well, I hope the guy's not watching.
Now, he probably wasn't working out.
No,
they felt like it was okay to walk out.
I'm in the corner. I'm minding my own business, and they talking to me, and I got my earbuds going, and I'm blasting in my ear, and all I hear is, and I don't know what they're saying. Everybody's saying, I'm about to go shoot myself. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
keep going,
But stay focused. Just stay focused. You're half of the battle, or most of the battle, is just getting to the gym.
Exactly.
So once you get there, you shouldn't waste any time. Go ahead and do what you came to do.
Well, I get there 4 a.m.
Yeah. So then you shouldn't.
Now,
you shouldn't have a whole bunch of people bothering
at 3 o'clock is woo.
You're not there at 3 o'clock, are you?
No, 4.
Oh, okay.
I get up at 3, lit out to 3.
Gotcha.
And then waddle.
Yeah.
But by 4, I'm
But just
there.
go in and be focused. Be focused. Be intentional about what you're doing. Like I said, if you made it to the gym, you shouldn't waste that time. I know my biggest pet peeve is wasting time. And so I want to make sure that I'm not wasting any time.
Right.
So if you've made it there, then do your workout.
Okay.
Get something out of it. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, man, I wish I didn't work out. My trainer always says that to me. Nobody will ever say, man, I wish I didn't work out. So just get it done.
I will. You encourage me. I mean,
Just get it done.
Eye of the tiger. You see that look in my eye. Y'all just leave me alone. Don't bother me now.
Right.
So it's all good. No, I try to go 5 days a week.
That's more than me.
Now off weekends is my time.
Right.
But I try. And a lot of times I do get there, and I try to stay focused, main thing, because I get by myself. I mean, I want to be by myself because I'm blasted. I'm trying to focus, and now that I'm trying to,
Right.
accomplish.
And you might be scaring people off. You don't have to be in the gym 5 days a week. I'll say that.
Well, I have to do what I have to do.
Do what you need to do what you have to do, but my goodness, I wouldn't be in the gym. I couldn't be in the gym 5 days a week. And so I don't want anybody to think that, I've got to do 5 days a week, and if I don't have the time to do that, then I won't be successful.
No,
start somewhere.
Therapy, I do. I mean, therapy in my mind, because, being a pastor, I hear a lot of things.
Yes.
And so I have to learn to get some of this stuff off of me,
It definitely,
right,
definitely is a good thing for that.
So,
for sure.
So I'm focusing, and as I'm focusing, I'm, and then
But any type of exercise. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in the gym. Either you could walk, you can skate, there's so many, you can dance. There's so many different things that you can do.
If you see me dance, you'd be laughing.
Well, yeah.
You're like, boy, it's comedy hour.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
It'd be like the jerk. They're like, what's wrong with him? Is he having a spell or something? Do you need paramedics?
Yeah. But sometimes you want to try different things. So it doesn't just have to be you in the gym. You can do a whole bunch of things to get your physical exercise.
Yes. I used to walk a lot, just constantly walk a lot. But the concrete messed up my knees a little bit, so that's why I'm going to the gym.
Gotcha.
And so get a little more cushion inside of my kneecaps, if there's much possible, if that's a such thing.
Gotcha.
So as you go through this journey, how are you going to make it?
How am I going to make it? Through prayer.
Okay, because sometimes people want to hear this,
Yeah, definitely. So definitely, I'm always praying first and foremost. You get through it with your family. I get through it with organization. So for me, if I'm not organized, then it's not chaos. But certainly it makes my day go smoother, and I can get more things accomplished if I'm organized.
Okay.
And so really planning out my day. And so that's what I'll say for anything. You can do anything you want to do. Just make a plan for it. And if you don't know how to do it, ask somebody. Because there's so many, people are so afraid to ask because they might think I don't know anything, all of those type things. Just forget it. I always tell people, don't suffer in silence. Just ask. I know with some that I work with, or actually, I used to do this when I was younger in my role, and my boss would ask me to do something. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I said to myself, I'm smart, I can figure it out. And I did, but it took me like 3-4 days, and I was frustrated, I was stressed out, all of those type things. If I would have just asked and said, hey, I don't know what you're talking about, can you give me a little bit more clarification? And I got that answer, I would have gotten it done much quicker. And so don't be afraid to ask. There are tons of resources. You all have resources nowadays that I didn't have, you didn't have when we were growing up. You've got the internet, you've got social, you've got everything at your fingertips. So you really can look for a lot of resources, but ask people that are around you. So I think that's how I get through most things, is with great organization, asking when I need to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because sometimes we think we're super women. Right. Or we're super women. Yeah. And we can do it all, and a lot of times it just gets to be too much. It is too much when you're trying to be too many things to too many people, and there's only so many hours in the day. You're only one person. Yeah. What? It just reminded me of when I first met her, and I was trying to get her email, and I was going like this. She grabbed the phone with me. It's like this. I remember. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I practice what I preach. I felt so intimidated. Headed back. I recall meeting Shaq in Houston. Shaquille O'Neal? Yes. Okay. I met him, and I'm looking up at him, and I said, can I take a picture with you? He said, yeah. And then first thing I pulled out this Galaxy. Oh. And he told me, first thing he told me, he said, you need to buy your iPhone. Yeah. Yeah, but he told me. I just looked at him. I looked up at him, but I didn't say a word because he had his bodyguards around and everything else. I just smiled. And, right. Then, I had my little say-so after, he walked away from me, but, I didn't see it in front of him. He might be watching today, right? Yeah, but if he's watching Shaq, give me a cell phone.
iPhone. Give me that iPhone that you said you want to get, okay? That you're going to give me, okay? Appreciate that. But, other than that, I know that you are very busy. Yes. And like 1 minute is
I'm no busier than a lot of other people out there. I think it's just different levels of busy, but I think that we're all living very full, very busy lives with everything that we're trying to accomplish today. So I wouldn't want to say that. I know there are some that are.
She's busy, folks. I don't care what you say. She's busy. I mean, we're just gonna break. She's busy. No, it's all good. But the idea is that, okay, so how do you handle your job, spouse, children, family members back home,
prayer,
friends?
Prayer.
Okay, so do you hang around certain people and certain people not to connect with?
Well, I mean, I always tell my kids, you are a reflection of me, so make sure you act accordingly. Certainly the circle that you keep can speak volumes. Your circle dictates where you go.
Right, that's true.
How you get there. So you definitely want to make sure that you have good people in your circle. I know all of you have heard that if you're the smartest person in the room, that maybe you're in the wrong room. That's true. Certainly, but it goes back to that continuous learning. We always want to make sure that we're learning. You need to put yourself in those spaces that you want to be, that maybe you're not necessarily there yet, but you can make a plan. And like I said, if you don't know, ask somebody. But you certainly want to make sure that you are putting yourselves in that space, in those spaces where you are learning and where you're growing, where you are networking. The one thing that I can say is relationships are incredibly important. Relationships can get you into places where you may not have been able to get yourself. And so it's always good. And don't look at it as like, what can this person do for me? I need to know him because he can do the ABCD, XYZ for me. Truly, I come into everything genuinely. Just building relationships, you want to make sure that you build them and that you nurture them. You don't want to just, again, like I said, look at it as what they can do for me. What do you bring to the table too?
Wow.
So making sure that you have stuff to bring to the table as we're doing these, as you're working on those relationships, but not being afraid to talk to people. Don't ask for a whole lot in the beginning too, because that can scare people away. But if people feel like you're truly, genuinely wanting to get to know them just for who they are and not for what, you can do for them,
yeah,
then it goes so much further. You're building that relationship. People will think about you later on. You'll get there because people will think about you later on. They'll think, oh, he's done this, he's talked to these people. Maybe I can help him with something. But certainly networking is huge. Building relationships is huge. I think in my work, I strive to speak to everyone. It's not that I'm above anyone. Everybody plays a role in making sure that we do the very best job that we can, and everybody has a role in it. It doesn't matter what your role is. We're all truly in it together. And so I just make sure that the relationships that I build, the conversations I have, are just as genuine as they can be.
Okay. Have you ever thought about doing a novel or doing a book about this? Well, it may become later on. Yeah.
No, I haven't. I mean, certainly I know a lot of people who have written books. It's not something that I've thought of for myself, but who knows? Maybe one day. Yeah. It's not something that I'm looking for right now, but I will tell you, for a lot of things that have happened in my life, it wasn't something that I was looking for.
Right,
it's something that came to me.
Yeah.
But I think if you do a good job, if you work really hard, those things will come to you.
Right.
They really will.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm just, my rating just went up to having her on this show, And, then,
You're funny.
And so it just shot up, So they'll be so well, they're gonna have Miss LaSavio take my place because it went up so high. So they pushed me out the door. They looked at me earlier, guys. Y'all just don't know. The IT people, they asked me. They said, "Well, LaSavio," and I said, "No, I'm gonna do it." And they looked, and the IT person looked at me like, "Huh?
Ew.
You?"
I think I kind of look too, huh? You're too. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I didn't know.
See how they do pastors?
Actually, I did. I did my homework on you. So yeah, I've seen you do some. I've seen you do some too.
See how they do pastors around here, you know. But you know, but we got to have a forgiving heart every time. So
Right. Absolutely.
we got to go. And so it's not, you know, it's the other people. But we know that, you know, you're about to depart from this area, and what I mean by that is go back to your hometown, home area.
My home
We're not talking about death now, okay? But
Like,
she doesn't
y'all know
live. She
something
live in
I
the
don't know.
area, but not this area, okay?
Right.
So, and I know it's getting dark, and so we will make sure
It's not
that
that dark.
well, it's dark out there. You just don't know, girls.
don't?
Pitch
Okay.
dark. You just don't know.
Okay.
The lights on. No.
Gotcha.
But I know that, you know, I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us just for a short period of time. Not only that, but give us a partial of your testimony. And I'm asking you, put you on the spot one of these days.
Okay.
Later on, if you come back and, you know, and give a part two.
A part two.
Yes.
That means I've got to get some accomplishments in the
Well,
works,
don't worry.
right?
It's gonna be some time. We're okay.
Might need a little time for that.
Yeah. We give you a good 2 days or 3 days. I'm just playing.
Okay.
No.
I'll be back next week, y'all.
About an hour or so. Yeah, we appreciate that. But yeah. Because I know that, you know, being in different board meetings, you know, with you there, you know, and I watch and listen to people more than I talk because I gleam off
Is that
of
right?
people.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I listen.
I'm just kidding. I'm really kidding.
I listen. You know, because sometimes I feel like I'm not.
I like to think I'm the quiet
accomplishing.
one.
No, well, you may be.
I am.
But
I listen a lot too.
Yeah. Because I learn when I listen, and sometimes I get a lot of my testimonies and my sermons from that as well. Mm-hmm. But the idea is I like to listen and see people and then know who they are. And what are your hobbies? What are your hobbies?
My hobbies, so lifting weights, you already know that. I like to play golf, but I don't play it a lot at all. I just haven't made the time to do it. I would say crafting, but again, I don't have a lot of time to do it, but I do like to create things. Mm-hmm. And so I would think those are mainly my hobbies.
Pickleball, dominoes, cards?
I don't do pickleball, but I play tennis. Don't get to play that a lot, but I do know how to play tennis.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming from Alabama, I know that well, like I say, you know, you watch what you eat now, but back then, there was. How did your mama cook?
Like an Alabamian?
Just
yeah, like
throw down.
Like any other Southern family, the fried chicken, greens, cornbread, you know, all of those type things.
Wow.
Yeah, and so, you know, you don't forget all of that stuff.
Right,
and I will occasionally, I got some of my grandmother's recipes, and so, you know, I'll occasionally do that. Again, your body's going to reflect what you do most of the time. Yeah. So I'm not eating that way most of the time. But, you know, special occasions, certainly holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, sometimes you just need cornbread. I do. Or, you know, just something that reminds you of your childhood. So, you know, I definitely will do those occasionally. I don't do them a lot.
Right.
But certainly we'll do them.
But water, wow.
Water.
I need more water.
It's not bad, y'all. It's not. And I was a person when she told me that was the quickest way. I was like, I can't, you know, like I told you, I drink sweet tea for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so it was. I won't say it was tough. I just made it up in my mind. That's what I was going to do, and I did it. And then once I started seeing the changes in my body, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. And it's just, you know, now, you know, can I still taste sweet tea? Yes, I can. I don't drink it, but I can taste it. I can imagine it. I can imagine Coke, you know, all of those things that I like to drink. But again, for me, water far outweighs, you know, especially the benefits that you get from drinking water, far outweighs anything that I can get from any other drink. So. Wow.
I know that I cut back on sweet. And I said cut it off, I cut back on it.
Right.
And I can taste it when I drink it. So, that's what I've been drinking for so many years. And then I start drinking some water, then I go back to it. But the idea, no need.
And it's not for everybody,
Yeah.
but certainly it's not going to hurt you. It won't hurt anybody to drink more water.
Yeah.
So certainly, if you can incorporate that in your diet, in your lifestyle, not your diet. I don't like to use the word diet, but it's a lifestyle.
Starting soon, folks.
Yeah. So you can.
There's no date on that now, okay?
I'll check back up with you. Don't worry. But yeah, if you can incorporate that in your lifestyle, so water, exercise, all of those things that we already know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not like we don't know this. We know it. We see it everywhere. It's really, truly just making up in your mind that this is what I want to do. And again, just starting it. The hard part is just starting.
I remember focusing on, we did a welcome weekend at University of Maryland Baylor, and we had a chest full of water and a chest full of soda years ago. And the students took the water and left the soda. And I'm like,
well, they're learning young.
Yeah, I mean, this was years ago. And I'm like, wow, I said something to this, because majority of people they grabbed something that was free. Both of it was free, but they knew it was better for their body than the soda.
Definitely. Well, it's great that they're learning while they're young, because I think if we can teach them while they're young, they can grow up with those healthy habits, and maybe they'll, obviously won't get some of those preventable diseases that are out there.
Right.
But if you start that way, then it makes it easier. You can always get there. You just have to start.
Right. I'm gonna drink me a teaspoon of water when I leave here today.
A teaspoon.
That's a start, right? She's a start.
So it's a start. Start somewhere. Definitely.
Yes, they would start somewhere. So say hello to Bobby. She's watching. And
hi, Bobby.
So I know she's watching and grinning and saying, "Oh, what are they gonna talk about?" I
saw her last night.
Yes.
So yeah.
But it's all good. Any last words you want to talk about?
Any last words? That sounds so ominous. No, not really. I mean, I think, throughout this whole thing, I think I've repeated a lot of things a lot of times. But, it truly does take us hearing it over and over and over before we really get it or it really sinks in. And so I think that's why I'm repetitive with some of the things that I'm saying. But truly, I thank you so much for inviting me. It has been fun. I didn't know what he was going to ask me. I was like, can I get the questions beforehand? He was like, no.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, but it's definitely been a lot of fun. Education is key.
I was about to say that.
So that's one thing that I will say. And I know, I don't know if there are any young people watching, but certainly whatever you put your mind to, like I said, you can do. You just need to have a plan for it. And like I said, if you don't know, ask somebody. Ask someone who can help you craft that plan. For college, there's money out there. So don't think it's too expensive. There are resources out there. I think that was the one thing that my mom taught me, and I preach it to my children. And they've learned it because I've heard them tell other people. But I always tell them, make sure that you use the resources that are available to you. So there's plenty of resources that are out there. You just have to use them. You have to want to use them, and you have to use them. But they're out there. They can tell you how to do anything. You truly can go to college. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. You truly can do it. You just have to have a plan to do it. And I will say, even if you don't have a plan, just put it out there. Because I will tell you, when I was younger, I think you heard it in my speech that you were at that night. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Actually, I planned on being a pharmacist originally. I got a scholarship. I was going to go to school to be a pharmacist until I worked in a pharmacy. And no disrespect to any pharmacists out there. I just didn't know. I worked in a pharmacy, and I didn't know that there were more facets to pharmacy. You can work in inpatient. There's research. There's all kinds of things that you can do in pharmacy. But I wasn't exposed to that, so I just didn't know. And so I didn't go to pharmacy school because I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I want to do something different. But I knew I wanted to be in healthcare because my mom was a nurse. Most of my aunts were nurses. I knew I didn't want to do nursing because I don't like blood. I don't like none of that. So I knew I didn't want to do that, but really trying to find my way and what I could do. My mom, I think my first year was undecided in college. So like I said, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my mom sat me down and she said, okay, you're getting ready to go to your into your sophomore year. What is your plan? What are you going to do? What are you going to major in? And I told her, I don't know. And she said, well, what do you want to be? And I said, the CEO of a children's hospital. Now, I just said that to kind of get her off my back because I didn't know, and I'd never been to a children's hospital. But I certainly put it out in the atmosphere. Things started happening. I stumbled upon a healthcare management degree at the University of Alabama, and so that's what my undergraduate degree is in. And just it happened from there. And so with a lot of hard work, you certainly can get there. So certainly, if where you want to get is not going to be easy, there is no get-rich-quick schemes that I know of, truly. It truly does take a lot of hard work, but if you're willing to commit the time and the effort, you definitely can. Make sure you use the resources that are available to you. I will tell you they are out there. You just have to look for them. You have to ask about them. Amen. So I think I would end with that.
Yes. Well, she got a green on like she from Baylor Bears, or
I have great friends at Baylor, but no, I'm not a Baylor Bear.
And the University of Texas, but she got to use roll tide just to say it. Yeah, there you go, right there.
Absolutely. Well,
I'm just playing.
We'll talk about this after. We'll talk about it afterwards.
It's all good though. Yeah. But I really do appreciate you spending time, with us and the people that's watching on line and all that. But the people that are, the person that's gathered here.
I do have an audience. We do have an audience.
Yes. But I appreciate you doing this and coming and hanging out with us. And
thank you very much.
Give you a little time, and then I'll call you back, and then get on your schedule for 2028 or whatever. Because I know you're
I'm going to do some stuff before then.
Okay, all right. But appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us at New Day Fellowship Church, growing church.
Thank you.
New vision for a multicultural generation. I want to give a warm welcome to Dell Ingram-Walker that drove all the way from another city just to come over here and hang out with us just for a little short period of time. Look, you throw me off. But thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And when I said last words, I don't mean like last words, but just
before,
some
what
thoughts.
Was the reference that he gave me?
Yeah, I know she was thinking about something else, but it was just. See, I'm trying to be wholesome, and she's having fun up here.
I'm sorry. I do like to have fun. I can't be serious all the time. I can't work all the time.
Yes, ma'am. That's good. It's all good. But appreciate you. And I know you got a meeting early in the morning, you need to
very early. Yes.
So you need to take care of yourself. Drink your water.
Yes, I will.
As I drink a cup of water, and then.
Start somewhere, people. Start somewhere.
I'm starting somewhere. But appreciate you, Dale. Y'all guys, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us. See you on Sunday morning. God bless you.